Prashant,
Namaskar.
namaskar.
Yeah, someone was asking something.
Somebody was
It was the live stream. So has it started?
Yeah, shall I start?
Yeah, I think
yeah, you can get start live stream.
Yes, sir, started, sir.
Let's go ahead, Prashant.
So, just before we go ahead, with your permission, can I start recording as well?
Yes, please.
Yes.
All right, sir. Thank you.
Namaskar. I'm Yogesh Ranade, BTech from BATU from the very first batch of mechanical engineering in 1996. It's 25 years this year since I passed out from BATU. As the saying goes, better late than never. Der aaye, par durust aaye. I am extremely happy to see the Alumni Association finally coming to fruition and taking shape. It's been a journey after numerous false starts. My heartfelt appreciation and kudos to the founding team for their exemplary efforts and leadership to finally sow the seeds of a robust alumni association. Leaders like Sachin, Prashant, Avnish, Santosh, and the entire EC team has literally taken the bull by the horn and driven this to success. It warms my heart to see the amazing progress that they have achieved, and all of it while we are still in a global pandemic. With that said, to our esteemed Vice Chancellor and the entire BATU staff, thank you for all your support in nurturing this alumni vision. To all the current students of BATU, gaining education is the foundational first step to a progressive career. Growth in your career is also dependent building a strong network. Over the past 25 years, our BATU alumni have progressed and excelled across different domains and areas ranging from core engineering, entrepreneurship, to leadership positions in business management across top-tier organizations. The Alumni Association will now provide a tremendous opportunity for you to connect with them. But mind you, it's your opportunity for the taking. And it's your imperative to use the Alumni Association for your benefits. To all my fellow alumni, this is our opportunity to grow and nurture the BATU banner. To be transparent, and as we all know, there's much to be done for the industry to take note of our BATU as a strong institution. All of us coming together, providing guidance and inputs to the students and the staff will help build BATU and grow the BATU brand. I already see over 5,000 members registered on the website, and this is an amazing time to bring this change. In the end, I am really encouraged by this initiative and happy to play my part as an alumni of BATU.
Dear friends, I am Lingraj Dini from the BTech Chemical Engineering 1997 batch. My best wishes on the launch of the Alumni Network platform. First, I would like to thank my teachers, former and present at the university, for the education and experience received, as well as stewarding the institute over close to 3 decades now. The university was set up with a purpose in Raigad district for the development of the region, as well as accessibility for high quality education for communities in the region. I wish the institute, students and teachers the best in this endeavor and hope they will continue to make significant contributions towards society and the community at large. Thank you.
Hey, I'm Nagesh Susarla, 1997 Chemical Engineering batch. Today I'm very excited about the e-launch of our Alumni Association. BATU has produced excellent engineers, scientists, leaders across the globe. And I think it's not only a chance for students and the rest of us to be inspired and motivated by the alumni, but to also lean on and rely on their experience and seek advice, seek mentorship, if you will. Because the common thread that joins us all is the fact that we all started at the same place, BATU, and had similar opportunities. I'm really looking forward to the collaboration and excited for the future.
Hi, I am Murtuza Dabia, batch of 1997 BTech Chemical Engineering. Congratulations on the inauguration of Alumni Association, and I'm excited to be part of this initiative, which provides incredible networking opportunities among members to relive the good old days, share ideas, or put one's personality on display. But primarily, it also provides a channel to give back to the institution in form of counseling services, mentorship support, and helping with internship and job posting for the alma mater. Thanks to committee members and volunteers to bring the past, the present, and the future of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Technological University Lonere on a common platform.
Hello all, Avinash here from the first batch at BATU for Petrochemicals in 1993. The Alumni Association crystallizing now into a proper functional organization is a great avenue to stay in touch and give back to the organization in our own unique way. Kudos to the team who redoubled their efforts to make this happen now. The professional world today, I would say, has networking and collaboration as one of the key pillars to success. And the various digital modes of staying in contact or staying in touch being enabled by the Alumni Association will benefit not only the budding professionals, but also us alumni. Let's stay true to our focus and support this new beginning in our own small or big way. Thank you and hope to have more networking in the future.
Hi friends, myself Shri. Batu, as we fondly call it, is our alma mater. We all feel indebted towards it. We have always been connected in our hearts but had no channel to express our gratitude. I am certain Alumni Association will facilitate this desire to give back to this esteemed university for everything it has done for us. Today is an historic day. We are launching our website. This is an attempt that we reassure each one of you that you will be looked after when you take step into this professional world. I wish this team a grand success. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Amit Chandra, part of Computer Engineering, batch of 1999. I am super excited to be part of our Alumni Association. I strongly believe an engaged alumni network allows the university to benefit from the skills and experience of our graduates by offering support to our students, to the institution, and to each other. If we keep them properly informed and engaged, alumni are our most loyal supporters and best ambassadors, providing marketing and promotion across their personal and professional network. I look forward to making a meaningful contribution to our Alumni Association. Thank you.
Greetings everyone. I'm Harshavardhan Doyle, 2000 Chemical Engineering batch pass out. I appreciate the efforts to set up the Alumni Association and this platform. Let us now leverage it for collaboration, learning and excellence. I wish over a period in time, this platform should inspire several hundreds of our students to set up ventures in the fields of energy, materials and technology. I appeal to my colleagues to invest their time into this network, which can potentially help us create net worth over a period in time. Thank you.
Hi, this is Roshan Shetty from the batch of 1997 Chemical Engineering. It's great to see the Alumni Association established because it's not just a networking forum but a collaboration forum which brings forward the ex-students from the university to collaborate with the professors, with the ecosystem and actually the students. This is an excellent moment for us to share our experiences and to mentor and nurture the young talent upcoming in our country. And once again, really happy to actually be a part of this association.
Hi, this is Rajiv Velodi from the 1997 Chemical Engineering batch. Very excited for the launch of the Alumni Association, and I'm looking forward to being a part of this initiative going forward. I think the biggest benefit outside of networking and raising the profile of the college in the industry. That the Alumni Association provides is this vast network of mentors with industry experience that can be leveraged, for the benefit of existing students and also alumni going forward. I'm really looking forward to be a part of this initiative, and all the best.
Hi, this is Archis Yavalkar from 95 Petrochem batch. It's indeed a pleasure to know DBATU Alumni has been established and growing multifold with its extraordinary efforts by its committee member as well as respected faculty staff. Being a part of alumni helps an individual in terms of exchanging ideas, sharing knowledges, helping each other in developing and establishing businesses, exploring new better job opportunities. It not only enriches one's life but at the same time it takes alma mater to the higher legacy. My best wishes for all future individuals for success of DBATU Alumna. God bless.
Hello friend, myself Vandana Edmarkar, BTech Electrical 2002 batch from the BATU. I am working here as a CEO Aeropower. Our Alumni Association is going to launch a website, and this particular portal will connect us virtually. Today we are really far from each other and unable to connect each other due to various constraints. But yes, this particular portal will help us to connect and definitely grow together. Thank you.
Yeah. So, Shubhda, do you want to take care?
Sure. Yeah. Good evening, one and all. I am Shubhada Mahesh Khanvilkar, 2016 chemical engineering graduate, currently working as process engineer in a Chicago-based firm. And today I'll be your host for our DBATU Alumni Association's eLaunch event. Our university was established in 1989. Right after that, it graduated 29 batches of engineers, and after a few years, it also started graduating masters as well as PhD students. Since the establishment, there was a void due to unavailability of a formal alumni association, as we did not have one. But last year, an idea to start an association came up, and this year, on January 26th, the association was inaugurated by Professor Sastry, the then Vice Chancellor of the university. Soon after that, we got formally registered under Society Registration Act of 1860 with charity commissioning. And here we are with all the 29 batches of alumni for the launch of our website. Today, I take immense pleasure to extend to you a very warm welcome on behalf of our members of BATU Alumni Association. As we all know, we have enthusiastically gathered here for a very noble cause lifted up by the BATU Alumni Association, that is eLaunch of the website. We are very lucky to have some of our most successful and prosperous alumni to build this event. A lot of alumni from this team have taken tremendous amount of effort for this association to see the light of the day. And with their guidance and direction, I'm very confident that their effort will prove very useful for our aspiring engineers. So without any further delay, let's head to the events of today's program. For this, I request Lieutenant Colonel Sachin Oak, 1996 mechanical graduate, to give away the welcome address. Before Lieutenant Colonel Oak takes over, I'll quickly introduce him to you all. Lieutenant Colonel Oak is a retired Army officer who led his men for 23 years in various parts of the country. He was, in fact, the first person from the university to get selected in the Indian Army. And since then, he has served as an inspiration to his juniors. He has the unique distinction of being stationed as the station engineer at Indian Antarctic Station Maitri and to leading from the front at Operation Vijay at Kargil War. So now I request him to take over the screen as president of DBATU Alumni Association. Over to you.
Good evening. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. With this prayer, we, the Alumni Association, pay our respects to all our gurus at all the stages of our life journey and seek their blessings on this journey that we have set out on. At the outset, I would like to welcome Padma Vibhushan Dr. M. Sharma to grace this e-launch to guide us. I would also like to welcome our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Pandit, former Vice Chancellors, Professor Shastri, Professor Gaikar, Professor Mankar, and Professor Gato. Mr. Sudhanshu Shekhar, who joins us from JSW Global, the Registrar, Dean, all HODs, and faculty members, along with all my fellow alumni and students on this special occasion. It is actually a dream come true for all of us who have been graduating since the year 1993 from this esteemed university. The Alumni Association's vision and mission will be covered in the presentation in due course. We would like to assure you that we are determined and driven to make it a grand success. The Alumni Association will act like a catalyst for the furtherance of the goals, and we have been instrumental in making a start to begin with. The areas that we have been able to pursue and the achievements are as reflected on the slide. Prashant, can you please flash the slide? As you can see, we have been able to contribute a bit in the last 10 months of the COVID pandemic. Even then, we were able to contribute a bit, and that will go on increasing as we go on moving ahead. I would like this to take an opportunity to appeal to all the alumni to join this association as a life member. Each one of us has been able to master a set or maybe a multiple sets of skills and expertise which can be shared for the benefit of the association as well as the society as a whole under the aegis of this platform. We welcome one and all to contribute towards it. Finally, I would like to announce today on this occasion that our 1994 petrochemical alumnus, Mr. Rakesh Basarkar, who is also the chairman and managing director of Core Energy Systems Private Limited, has generously donated 1 lakh rupees to the association and made a grand beginning. All alumni come forward and contribute generously to the association, and we assure you that these donations will be utilized judiciously for achieving the vision of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Technological University Alumni Association. Thank you and Jai Hind. Over to you, Shubhada.
Thank you, Lieutenant Colonel Lok. I'm sure that your leadership will act as a guiding beacon for a very dynamic and dedicated team for the Alumni Association. Leading a university and working towards its progress is definitely not an easy task. And our university is fortunate to have Professor Aniruddha Pandit as its Vice Chancellor. Professor Pandit has taken over the charge as Pro-Vice Chancellor for DBATU from April 2021. And since then, he has been taking forward the torch and responsibilities that were started by our previous Vice Chancellor, Dr. Sastri. Prior to this, Professor Pandit has acted as Dean in his capacity of Human Resource and earlier as Dean of Research Consultancy and Research Mobilization. In addition to his research contribution, Professor Pandit has contributed to innovation in teaching at graduate and undergraduate levels and has guided over 50 PhD masters, over 50 PhD students and master students. I now humbly request Professor Pandit to give the welcome address.
Thank you, Shubhada. Professor Sharma, my guru, Shri Dilip Sinha, who was, I think, about to join, President Lieutenant Colonel Sachin Oka, Vice President Prashant Valuri, Santosh Ingole, Avinash Mida, and the previous Vice Chancellors, Professor Shastri, Professor Gaikar, Professor Mankar, Professor Gatol, and notable alumni who spoke earlier and are currently in the audience, and are also going to speak in due course, such as Nagesh, Bijoy. I could see some familiar faces in the initial stages itself. Archis Yavalkar, who talked about, was Professor Pangarkar's PhD student, is a UDCT alumni in terms of his PhD. Videsh Alve has been my master students. So I've been well aware of what has been happening with BATU right from its inception. Now, I am essentially a VC in transit till you get your next permanent VC for a period of 3 years or 5 years. But whatever was possible for me to be able to do this, and I could be present on this particular day, I just consider myself lucky, and I happen to be in the right place at the right time. That's all I can say. Whatever has happened, all the credit goes to my predecessors in establishing systems. I know how much Professor Gaiker used to travel and struggle, keeping his activities in ICT going, and how much he suffered in terms of his own research areas in ICT. Once taken a commitment in establishing systems, and nobody can hold his hand. And we are all able to see these fruits mainly because of the efforts which have been put in by the previous vice chancellors. And I must mention at this point of time, the moment Alumni Association president came to know that I was taking as an in-charge vice chancellor on 1st of March 2021. The same night, I came to know about it from the Raj Bhavan in the afternoon. The same night, I get a call from Videsh Alve from Australia saying that, sir, we learned that you are going to take it up, and we as alumni would like to work with you and take this university forward. And since then, I have been attending all the alumni meetings every Saturday or every alternate Saturday. And to the best of my abilities, have been guiding them and have been participating in these particular activities. The kind of initiatives and the kind of achievements which the alumni has made need to be publicized. And this is exactly what the alumni should do. And I'm extremely happy that this particular launching of website of alumni, with all the norms established in terms of being registered as a charity, so on and so forth, all the legal norms have been completed, will definitely allow the alumni to participate, to form a platform where they could interact and also help your beloved university, DBATU, in achieving what is the real potential which exists. Now, there have been many, many cases and many instances where nothing has happened for years together, but I think the trend has started changing. With certain initiatives, without bothering about what sort of brickbats I'll get, we were able to get a significant number of our faculty who were languishing without CS promotions were able to get their promotions. Similarly, the staff, almost 27, 29 staffs were languishing without promotions for the past 15, 16 years. I'm not blaming anyone, but it is just the lethargy of the system. And as I said, I happen to be there at the right time, at the right place. We have been able to do that, which has resulted into a significant increase in the happiness index in the university. There are always going to be a few people who will keep on complaining, grumbling about it, but we need to ignore that and we look at the positive side of it. I think last 2 weeks ago, I also inaugurated the new studio which has been created which will be used for publicizing the events as well as communicating the events through YouTube or any channels. So whatever lectures which happen outside or whatever lectures which they want to give outside can be recorded and can be publicized, can be loaded on this. And this particular utilization of studio is going to add to the capabilities as well as knowledge dissemination and information dissemination of DBATU. I'm extremely thankful to Professor Sharma for readily agreeing, because I know how much he has worked himself in starting UDCT Alumni Association, and it is very near to him. I said so there is no better chief guest than Professor Sharma to guide us all in terms of how Alumni Association activity should progress. So I'm very happy to be here and given me the opportunity to address you all and to say a few words. And I wish you all the very best, and my participation, even after I leave my VC job, I'll be very happy to be associated with you, because many of your alumni have been my students, and I continue to interact with them. Wish you all the very best, and I'm looking forward to continued association and continued interaction with you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Pandit. It was a pleasure hearing from you, and we all alumni really appreciate your steadfast contribution to the university. For the next event, we are very lucky to have a few of the very oldest alumni of our university. And I'm very thankful to them that they have managed to join us in our today's launch. So here we have with us Nagesh Bhasarkar, Mr. Nagesh Bhasarkar. He's an alumnus of the second batch of petrochemical engineering, and he graduated in the year 1994. For post-graduation, he worked for 4 years in leading petrochemicals and fertilizer industry, and then ventured into business in the year 1999. He currently is chair and managing director of Core Energy Systems and Private Limited. Due to some official commitment, Mr. Bhasarkar could not be here with us, but he has sent a video of his message. Can we have the video, please?
Good evening. This is Nagesh Bhasarkar from Petrochemical 1994 second batch. Respected Vice Chancellor, Alma Mater, alumni, dignitaries, chief guest, President of DBATU Alumni Association and its members and students. It is a pleasure to address today on occasion of portal launch of Alumni Association. Unfortunately, I could not attend the live session due to our company board meeting and AGM. The efforts taken by the managing committee to establish the alumni is commendable. I would like to appreciate the efforts of Lieutenant Colonel Sachin Oka and all his team for making this possible. They deserve an accolade for this achievement. This will create a platform for the alumni to connect with the students and share the professional experience and mentor the upcoming talent. I also take this opportunity to thank my professors for the knowledge, experience, and wonderful time I had during the 4 years of my college in the university. Dear students, the 4 years of the university education and experience are the best phase of your life, which shapes your personality and gives direction to your career path. When I joined the college, I was basically very raw, introvert, lack of confidence, and average in studies. My batchmates were constant source of support, giving me the required confidence and hand-holding in my studies. Students, this is the crucial phase in your life. Apart from education, a lot of learning happen during your course, during your journey in the college, which will actually help you excel in the world outside. You learn from your batchmates, seniors, and even juniors during your interactions. This is the key message which I want to emphasize in this forum. Forge a strong bonding with your batchmates and colleagues. This networking will help you open new opportunities. Further, with the alumni platform, it will give you an immense opportunity to connect with all the ex-students and alumni. After completion of my engineering, I did work in a large petrochemical industry for 4 years before venturing into my business. I came from a lower middle class family and did not have the required capital to start the business. But again, all my batchmates came forward to support and made valuable contribution. And I had with me a seed fund of 3 lakhs in the year 1999. My seniors who had become entrepreneurs also helped me. They tutored me on the basics of business management and operations. Even till date, all my batchmates who have experience in diverse fields are constantly involved, giving me valuable guidance, be it from HR, design and engineering, project management, all the way. This is the power of networking. I hope with the formation of Alumni Association, we'll have many more such success stories. Another key message to all the students is to continuously work and improve on the communication skill. This is critical for your performance and growth. Be innovative and think out of the box. One of the key issues whenever we interact with the student is the lack of campus interviews being organized by the university. Dear students, I beg to differ on this issue. The college is already doing their best in existing resources and constraints. If you are talented, you will get a job outside. Of course, you are talented, and that's the reason you are in engineering. Make yourself employable. The employers will start seeking you. There are enough jobs available outside, and with India focusing to be a $5 trillion economy by 2024, the job opportunities are tremendous, and future is bright for all those young engineers who will graduate. For the alumni, my key message will be to regularly share the job opportunities and promote our college. We can do our best to connect with industry and make efforts to organize more campus interviews. On my part, I commit to take at least 3 interns every year and will conduct campus interviews for job. Also, I pledge that I'll contribute to the alumni initiative funds. My message to the college is they are doing their best. Further, the DBATU Alumni Association will work together with the university to chalk out a glorious path. Our college is located on the foothills of Raigad, from where Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj managed his empire. My best wishes to all the students to successfully graduate from the university and go out there and rule the world. Thank you so much and best of luck.
Thank you. Our next alumni is Mr. Bijoy Chandran. He holds a petrochemical engineering degree from our university and graduated in the year 1995. Post-graduation, Mr. Chandran started his career at BASF India as a management trainee in 1997. And since then, he has held multiple positions across the organization. Currently, he leads the commercial setup of the business organization and market development of the BASF Petrochemicals business. He's going to also work for the upcoming BASF site in China. He's very soon going to get relocated to China. So I must say we got hold of him just in time. I request Mr. Chandran to say a few words.
Thank you, Shubhada. So good evening, everyone. It's an honor and privilege to be sharing the panel with such illustrious members of the faculty, as well as someone who's a icon in the academia, which is Dr. M. Shah. I think it's a pure privilege to be part of this initiative. I think I would like to begin with congratulating the entire team behind this initiative to provide the network to all Batuites past and present. I think a lot of my seniors and juniors and people I have not met in a long time have re-emphasized a need to be connected, and this only is a multiplying factor for people to connect, and this provides an amazing platform in today's world to be a bridge between the academia and the industry, and also provides make sure that the talent that is coming from our institution would also find a place in the world. I don't speak only about India because I'm personally a proof of, and I know a lot of our alumni who are currently out all over the globe, and they are in leadership positions. So I feel that's and we all came from, I think I like what Nagesh has spoken about, that at the end of it or at the beginning of it, we all started at the same place. And it should serve as that if we can do it, all of you can also do it. And with a little help from all of us, I think this will be a movement that will just spread and keep growing. Maybe speaking about something, I think we had humble beginnings. So maybe let me take you also on a flashback because I was the third batch of the. It was in 1991 I joined Batu. At that time I was the third batch. The 1989 batch, actually the first batch that joined. The university was still under Bombay University. Most of you won't know that, but in 1989, it got converted to Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Technological University, and we only had an intake for the first three batches of 30 students. So that's where it started. But the vision was extremely large. The vision was they already had the foresight to look at the changing landscape of the chemical industry in India and the need for bringing and having that skill set and the talent for the industry. So, back in 91 when I joined, we shared the space with Raigad Polytechnic, and we actually didn't have any dedicated lectures or HOD or a vice chancellor at that point of time. It took us multiple agitations, petitions to the ministers to get, at least in my second year, that we had a vice chancellor on board, and we also had the faculty starting to come in. We still had some guest professors still into our third year, but I would say around the third and the fourth year, we had a full-fledged faculty to whom I am completely indebted because that's the only degree I have, and it's taken me places. So a big heartfelt thanks to all the faculty who have guided me and supported me in this journey. But the reason I highlight these challenges is the fact every generation has its challenges. Now, the question to everyone is when there is a challenge, you either have a choice to do what has instructed or step up and work on those challenges and make the best for yourself and to tackle them. So I believe it's a choice that people take and everybody needs to take those choices for the betterment of ourselves. And I think that is one message I would always give. Persevere and your hard work would bear results. Maybe coming to one other aspect is most of us think of engineering as a 4-year process. Once it's done, it's dusted and everything goes, everything is settled. And I also heard someone speak about it. The engineering, the 4 years, is the foundation stone. And we all know how the foundation is the most important part because that leads to what we say is basically the foundation on which your career is built upon. And the strength and the height of your career success is dependent on how strong you make that foundation. And I would echo and underline what Nagesh just spoke about with the fact that once you have that focus on this and build your competence so that the industry would be able to take it. But at this point, also, I would like to make a remark. It's not just students, but also the growth of a university and the growth of that talent is also the faculty is an extremely integral and an important component, and so is the infrastructure. But and having such a platform that the team has come up with, which is at least the launch of the e-website, but I think the website provides much more than just a digital portal. It basically allows us to keep in touch with the new industry requirements, the changing industry requirements. We have so many new goals that are coming in, which were even unheard of or even thought to be foolish ideas with regards to sustainability, electricity being driven only by solar powers or wind power, renewable energy, renewable materials, carbon footprints. So I can tell you the world is just changing and the requirement for technical skill sets has never had a bigger opportunity. So I can only say that this is only going to increase because for the existing problems of the world, if we need to create new solutions, you really have to have to keep in pace with the changing requirements, but constantly evolve ourselves. I think that's something I would want to leave the existing students with, that these are your most formative years. But last and not, I would like to conclude at least by saying going to the uni is more than just acquiring an engineering degree. It's the period where one enters as a boy or a girl and you leave the university as a man or a woman. That's a huge growth phase. We sometimes underestimate that, but that's what happens to you. And skill set is just one part of it. What happens to you is your self-discovery. This is the first time that you start to self-discover yourself as an individual, and what do you desire, and what are you willing to sacrifice or work to get to reach there, to, to define your goals, and what are you prepared to give up or prepared to take up in order to reach that goal. So I think the most important thing is there is no perfect road to success. The road to success is almost always a story of hard work and opportunity. So again, once again, thank you for this, and I wish this team all the success, and hopefully I can play a part in all of this as well to mentor the students out here, and hopefully also provide the platform for them to step into the professional world. Thank you again.
Thank you, Mr. Chandran. I'm sure our aspiring engineers will benefit from your piece of advice. Thank you.
Thank you.
The next guest we have is Mr. Sudhanshu Shekhar, Senior Manager in HR Operations at JSW Steel Limited, Dolvi. I request him to say a few words.
I welcome all of you, and I would like to extend my respect to Honorable Vice Chancellor, professors, students, and alumni of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Technological University, Loneri. So on this occasion of e-launch of Alumni Portal, I am pleased to represent JSW Steel Limited on behalf of Mr. G.S. Rathor, who is President Dolvi Salab and Anjar. Unfortunately, he is not able to make it to this program because of his other engagements. However, as a part of the JSW Steel, I would like to say that JSW Steel is one of the India's largest steel manufacturing organization. And in the 4 decades of our existence, we have many accomplishments. Post acquisition of the manufacturing facility at Dolvi, which is in Raigad, fortunately, the Babasaheb Ambedkar Technological University is also in the Raigad district. So we have converted this facility from loss making to a profitable unit, not only in terms of money, but the capacity has also increased from 3.3 MTPA to 10 MTPA in less than a decade. Coming to the alumni, what is alumni and alumni network? See, alumni are the mentors, they are the guides, they are the inspiration for generations to come to these prestigious institutions. And they represent a community of professionals for you to evaluate them. In turns, alumni make you a better professional, giving you insight about industry, what is actually required by the industry, and turn you into a thorough professional. And I have visited BATU Loneri at least 3 occasions as a recruiting manager for JSW Steel Limited. I recruited many of the students from BATU, and proud to say that we have a huge number of alumni working with us from this prestigious institute. As we talk about now, what exactly is the requirement of industry? Being an HR, I would like to share that we all wonder what makes an individual to get selected through an interview process, and for some of us, it's not possible. So while we are looking at the quality of students, there are 2 important factors that we look at. The first is the core skills and knowledge. The strong subject knowledge, motivation for thriving in a manufacturing and core organization, drive for learning, adapting with the ever-changing business environment and technology. Then the second point is individual alignment with the culture in organization's culture and value. So individual has to display a confidence to take new challenges and strive to prove himself or herself even during the uncertain time. Courage to shoulder responsibility, accountability, then commit to deliver, compassion for co-worker, stakeholders and society, collaboration for collective and superior results. While talking about alumni network, being a part of also an industry representative, academia and industry are two important pillars of our economy. These are two important institutions. The robust collaboration between the two results into innovation on based of in-depth scientific research for industrial applications, create a tailored fit employment ready professionals, improve quality of education through projects which is relevant and impactful for the business and industry. JSW has been pioneer in industry academia relationship, and we have been implementing many of the projects in collaboration with academic institutions for our business challenges. We have collaboration with prestigious institutions like Indian Institute of Technology, Mumbai, then IIM, then Tata Institute of Social Services, Indian School of Business, IIM Ahmedabad, IIM Bangalore, XLRI, and would definitely like to have a robust collaboration with the BATU Lonere, since it's the same district and definitely it's known for chemical engineering. So on closing note, I would like to congratulate all of those who are behind making this e-launch program for the alumni network success. So thank you very much. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you, Mr. Shekhar, for being here with us despite your busy schedule. Thank you so much, and we all really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Now is actually the most exciting part of today's event, and that is to introduce our today's guest of honor. And I'm very jealous that Professor Valluri gets to do that. Before handling it over to Professor Valluri, I would like to introduce Professor Valluri first. Professor Prashant Valluri studied chemical engineering at DBATU Lonere from 1994 to 1998. Currently at Edinburgh, he is based in chemical engineering discipline and belongs to the Research Institute of Multiscale Thermofluids. He holds a professional personal chair in fluid dynamics and is the head of graduate school of engineering at the University of Edinburgh, UK. In the BATU Alumni Association, he is the vice president for the academics department. So with huge excitement, I request him to introduce and welcome our today's guest of honor. Over to you, Professor.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for the nice introduction. Who doesn't know Professor M. Sharma? He's just an encyclopedia. He's just everything that chemical engineering needs to have. So just to quickly introduce Professor Sharma. Professor Sharma was born on 1st of May in 1937, and he obtained master's and bachelor's degrees in chemical engineering from Bombay University and a PhD from Cambridge University here in England. And then thereafter, he immediately returned to his alma mater, which is UD City, which was at the time called UD City. And then he quickly rose to become a professor at the age of 27. And Professor Sharma, I should say that you've been an absolute inspiration for all of us. In fact, I remember when I was working in Hindustan Lever, soon after my BATU and all that, one of my managers, Dr. Sankolkar, gave me something to pass it on to you. And so at that time, I had come to your house. That was way back in 2000 or 1999. I'd come to your house to give you a letter. And that was the thing I said, wow, Professor M. Sharma, I wore a tie and everything. And I came. So it was that. And so obviously in 1989, he took over the directorship of UDCT. And he has been there at UDCT until his retirement at 1997. He's also an honorary professor at JNCS ASR at Bangalore. Now, in terms of his research work has been pioneering in every sense of the word. In fact, some of the research work, I was so inspired that became my own research topic in multi-phase flow systems. So this is the impact you have, sir. So his work on, especially on intensification of multi-phase systems through the use of microphases especially, has been absolutely stellar and path-breaking. He was the first to demonstrate the use of hydrotropes in alkaline hydrolysis of liquid and solid esters based on reactions of phenols and substituted phenols. I mean, obviously, Professor Sharma has got a huge impact, huge academic impact in terms of chemical engineering, but he has a lasting impact in inspiring the leadership of UDCT. Okay. He has inculcated several students and beyond UDCT as well, or beyond ICT as well, to have an intense passion for chemical engineering and engineering in general. He has been successful in developing and linking academic programs from the industry, from university to the industry as well. And you can see where UDCT or ICT is now. So that is the impact Professor Sharma has had. The other thing is he has also been instrumental in policy making, not only to industries worldwide, but also policy making in India for education, science and technology, and industrial development. His contributions have been to be planning in chemical and petrochemical and petroleum industry in India for over 3 decades. And these ideas and these policies have given a new dimension in the country. In terms of awards, he's the Fellow of the Royal Society, which is one of the few, I mean, very few engineers get that position. And he is the Fellow of the Royal Society. And of course, he's also the Fellow of the Royal Academy of Engineers in the UK. Okay, he has also won a number of medals, that is the Moulton Medal from the IChemE in UK. And of course, he delivered the Danckwerts Memorial Lecture in 1987 and the J.C. Bose Memorial Lecture at the Royal Society in 1995. Back in India, he has been the recipient of the Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar Prize, the FICCI Award, the Vishwakarma Medal, and the GM Modi Science Award, the Meghnad Saha Medal, the Firodia Award, and many such awards. He's a recipient of so many honorary doctorates from different institutions. And he was also the president of the Indian National Science Academy during 1989 and 1990. I mean, in recognition with all these achievements, so the government of India has awarded him the Padma Bhushan in 1987, and Padma Vibhushan in 2001. Sir, with your permission, I would like to, so the first thing what we would like to do is actually we would inaugurate the website. And then I would invite you to give you the inaugural address. So with your permission, sir, can I start the inauguration of the website? Sir, you're muted. Mute. Sir, you're muted.
Is it okay? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Good, great. Please go ahead.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Well done.
Thank you, thank you. So, so with no further ado, could I please request Professor Ramam Sharma to give his address?
Professor Anirudh Pandit, Lieutenant Colonel Oka, Professor Valluri, you've been very gracious in giving such an elaborate introduction of me. Many of you may not be aware that I was associated with the Committee of Government of Maharashtra for creation of BATU. In fact, some of the early vice chancellors knew about it. You're located in a very good place with plenty of good rain. What has pleased me is that your alumni are showing such sign of gratitude. And I always say, sign of gratitude is a sign of a cultured person. The manner in which your alumni has spoken really gives me great pleasure. Commitment to an institution which nurtured you is something, a lifetime possession. And I'm very happy that in spite of the problems BATU had faced in the initial phases, that you have come out and you are occupying good position. I have pleasure in launching your alumni association. I want to congratulate you for the kind of website you have created and the kind of linkages you are maintaining with your alumni. I'll share with you some of our experiences of formation of alumni association. You have launched it and you have got already commitment of a few people. You need many more people, and each one of you, subject to your own financial position, please contribute so that you can talk with moral courage to other alumni to contribute to the fund. Why do you need that fund? You need the fund to carry out many useful activities because every activity costs. The government rules are sometimes so awkward that many functions, many things you would like to do, you will face impediments. An alumni association comes very handy in being able to organize these functions, including at times serving snacks and all. You may have questions why this type of snack was served if it is on the university account. Since I've gone through all this, I'm telling you that alumni association becomes a great asset in so many ways apart from a kind of relationship you maintain. I think you are all residential because in that location you have to be, and you have a great campus. And I like to suggest to you two things which alumni association should give priority in my judgment. Ours is a country where talent is everywhere, as was abundantly clear from the people who participated. But please keep in mind that many of them come from economically weak background. These days, fee structures are high. Hostel expenses are very high. I recall my hostel days in 50s when our mess bill used to be 40 rupees a month. Today, you probably talk of 2,500 rupees a month. The fees was 400 rupees a year. Probably you talk about fees of 40,000 or 50,000. Thus, each student who comes from middle class and lower middle class faces serious economic disabilities. I have personal experience of this, not only because I was helped by philanthropists. We had seen very large number of extraordinarily talented students in ICT who suffered from economic weakness. And many of them are shy to bring to the attention of the management that they have economic problems. And this is something which touches the heart of any donor. I would like you to create this fund through the Alumni Association, help and in course of time create endowments in the university itself. Now, Alumni Association can do many things which a government establishment has problems in nurturing. So you can do it directly, but it is always good to create endowments in the university. Unfortunately, what happens, none of us is able to predict the levels of inflation. So whatever endowment you create today, for example, when we created endowments, you could earn 12%. Today, you struggle to earn 6.75%. Expenses have gone up radically. So doing on annual basis becomes a much easier option. Here again, Alumni Association comes very handy. Second, because you don't have limitation of space. I have visited your campus 2-3 times. I even gave a convocation address. I also gave an independent talk, I think when Mankar was the Vice Chancellor. I had association with industry in your area, in Mahad. So I'm familiar with BATU. Your campus is very large. I don't think it is kept that well from point of view of greening. Alumni Association should take steps to carry out such extraordinary greening because your campus is so big, so that students could walk, enjoy fresh air. I think makes a big difference, not only for undergraduate students, but even more for postgraduate students. It's heartening that you did start doctoral program quite some time ago. I remember one of the former students of Sanjay Mahajani who was doing work on reactive distillation, which I happened to visit during the experimental setup when I happened to visit your place. So my another suggestion is that please contribute to the I know in the university system for you to spend money on greening is going to be very limited. Government institutions have very, very awkward rules. The university is quite different. Even then we were seriously handicapped. And it is with the help of alumni and well-wishers that even in a small campus of 16 acres, we were able to do greening so well that year after year, we got many awards from Friends of Trees for varieties of timber. Make sure that you also plant large number of neem trees. And there is a neem association which can assist you. There is a very well-established neem association in Mumbai, which can help you. It's very good to have neem trees, bakul trees, and things like that. So please make sure that you are greening. Now I will say something about the subject matter. Take any subject you like. You have petrochemicals, you have chemical engineering. I'm never tired of saying that half-life of a chemical engineer is no more than 5 years. Let me go back to my student days. I never heard anything called membrane separation. You know how important is membrane separation. I never heard that there was something called PSA. Today, a common man knows without knowing the full meaning of PSA because so many PSA oxygen plants have been put up in India out of this because of COVID. But this was a marvelous example of chemical engineering. PSA was successful only because of elaborate simulation. Nobody knew at that time that one could use in large ammonia plants carbon dioxide removal by pressure swing adsorption. So if you read old textbooks, you will always find carbon dioxide was removed by scrubbing in potash or amine solutions and all. And therefore, you are out of date if you are lecturing. The teacher has to be many steps ahead of the student to command respect. Again, I'm never tired of saying if student and the teacher read the same textbook, and that is the knowledge of the teacher, it's a very bad day, because young people are very quick to pick up. I would therefore suggest that make sure that the library culture, both through computer, see today it is so easy to have internet at home or internet in hostel for you to go through literature. So easy. You don't have to be physically present in library, but I would still suggest that you make sure. For example, we used to have this very strong culture in earlier days, which has now become somewhat redundant. Every student in UDCT went through, going through chemical abstract. Every branch. Now, this was a great education. It was a great education. Going to library has its own merit. But anybody giving an excuse that I don't have journals is untenable, because internet allows you to scan practically every journal, whether it's chemical engineering or petrochemicals or mechanical engineering. You can go to the table of contents, you can see the abstracts. That's a good starting point. And then you have a mechanism by which you can get, and the Inflibit system of UGC was very helpful. I don't know whether Batu is a member of that organization or not, I don't know. Because I think, is Batu now under the UGC Act? Are you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We do have 12B.
No, but are you entitled for UGC support?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
For various
In the
programs?
Ghatosas tenure, we got 12B, sir.
So you are able to get support for under different programs of UGC, which is very good. Because remember that when UGC had ushered in the courses program, that made a world of difference to all the universities in India, because at the first time under courses program in 80s, 60 lakhs were given to chosen department, like Center of Advanced Studies courses. Then came another program by which then DST had very, of course, DST will assist you. And I trust that you all try to get funds from all the directions, because see, unfortunately, what happens, even in Bombay University, there was no dedicated fund for research. Even in the UDCT budget, there was no budget head called research and development budget. And you will be amused to know that in 16, there was no budget to send research papers by airmail. Forget about typing. So I'm telling you the experiences through which one has gone through in the university system. Things have changed quite a lot, but still certain stigmas and certain problems remain. And you being a new university, you don't have the burden of the old systems and the procedural problems of a kind that one would dread in the modern era. Now, those who live in hostel, I still have my lifelong friends who are with me in hostel. In your case, it's an isolated place in a way, many respects. So I think all of you lived in hostel, no? I presume most of you, if not all of you must have stayed in hostel, no? Professor Valuri, you stayed in the hostel?
Yes, I did.
See, the hostel life is one of the most enjoyable part of one's life.
I fully agree.
And what happens that you make lifelong friends. I have friends for 60 years who are with me in hostel. And many of you spoke earlier about networking. You know, there is an instantaneous response from a classmate, not only classmate, but co-hostelite. Hostel is an incredible organization, you know. It has great value in education. So we say we were in the same hostel, like you hear many IIT fellows saying I was hostel number 6 or whatever. And that kind of attachment that they have. I lived on campus for many years of my life. And hostel, which was next door, always lured me. because I could remember my earlier days when I came as a young boy of 17 to Bombay from desert city of Jodhpur. So hostel life instills in you a kind of kindness, a kind of brotherhood and openness. There's nothing you can hide in hostel days. If you have brought a packet of sweet, you think you can hide it somewhere, you will not be able to hide it because others will come and, and pounce on it, and before you realize it is all finished, you know. So this connection through hostel and classmates is an incredible connection. Now coming to strengthening the Alumni Association financially. First of all, the group of people who are in the management committee or whatever name you give, each one of them, subject to his or her capability, contribute money. As I said earlier, then you have moral courage to approach people, please contribute. And if somebody says, what do I get in return? Ignore that person. Because if somebody has that kind of a selfish motive, that by contributing some money to Alumni Association, what will he or she get in return? That means the person has a contaminated mind. So ignore such person. There will be some persons like that. Do not bother about. Most of them will be very warm towards the institution. Then make an appeal and tell that no amount is small, no amount is big. So let there be, for example, you said, I think you have had how many, about 5,000 graduates in all total by now? What is the total number of graduates that have come out of BATU? About 5,000 plus?
15,000 about.
Total number is now 15,000?
Pandit sir, you're
yes, about 16,000.
For 16,000. Then you make sure that at least 25% of them within next year are covered as a members of the Alumni Association. It is possible, but you'll have to go with single-minded approach. Each one of you should take a target. Professor Pandit will tell you that we used to track anybody who came from abroad with form ready. He says, not brought a checkbook, then sends a messenger to his home so that he can sign the check. So ensure, no, unless you are financially sound, you will not be able to carry out activities which you so fondly want to carry out. So I suggest to you that you financially strengthen yourself. Have you got 8IG now? Having registered with the Charities Commissioner, have you approached the Income Tax Department to get you 8IG?
Not yet.
Not yet. Not yet.
So we are registered with the Charity Commissioner, but then the Income Tax Department will give us the permission for giving a income tax rebate or tax benefit only after 3 years of filing the income tax returns.
Okay, so when did you get Charities Commissioner registration? You said about
this January.
This January only.
So you'll have to wait for 3 years to approach the income tax. But anyway, as soon as the first opportunity arises, you please go. And Income Tax Department normally is not suspicious of government-funded universities. So I think you have a good chance of getting 8IG because that will enable you to gather larger sums of money. 2 or 3 other things I would like to, you institute through endowment visiting professorship. I'm saying all this on the business of what we had practiced. The reason is manifold. First of all, to establish a cordial relationship. Now, this has nothing to do with these people being your alumni. Get people in the neighborhood first so that logistics is not a problem. There are many competent people in Roha, in Mahad, a whole variety of industries. There are many resident operating chiefs are there. You have this visiting professorship with modest honorarium. Honorarium is important for professional reasons. Make sure that you have some, I don't know whether you have any visiting professorship as of now. I doubt. Do you have?
No, not to my knowledge, Prof. No.
I think you should create, it makes a world of difference. Once again, without creating endowment, if the BATU itself is not able to do, alumni association can support, or sometimes some industry might support, and that some of your alumni are already in very prestigious position. They can be the supporter. So there are many such activities. I mean, first of all, your numbers in the alumni association should be healthy. If you are able to target 25% of your graduate, that means something like 4,000 people in the matter of less than 2 years, I would consider it as a great achievement. It's not all that easy. People will say, yes, I am interested. But when it comes to writing the check, you will find some excuse or other, in spite of best of the intentions. But so please make sure that you are able to pursue people. Now, this requires very personal approach. Apart from the members of the management committee, the faculty should prepare a list of persons who are approachable and list them as alumni members. The strength of any alumni association will come on the basis of the membership that you have and amount of funds you have been able to collect, because otherwise it becomes an association on paper, and that only few people mumble, and that doesn't make a healthy alumni association. Sometimes you will find something very funny. Many of you will be amused that institution of the greatest reputation in India, Institute of Science, did not have a healthy alumni association. And I used to be on their council and kept on pressurizing them. And they are seeing the big result. IITs were forthcoming. IITs always had this alumni association. They have one in US even. And one knows how one benefits from the alumni association. So it's very good that as relatively young university, you have launched your alumni association. And what a classic website you have created. I want to congratulate you again. It's very good that you have been able to, and it was very heartening to hear good words about BATU from your alumni. On this day, I wish you all the best, and that to tell you that subject is changing so fast. But always remember the fundamental definition of an engineer. Engineer is interested in getting things done, making things work, and is prepared to accept partial solutions to insolvable problems. The famous example of mathematician raising his hand saying, I don't have an analytical solution. We go for numerical solution because it's a real problem that we have in front of us. So if we can't get an exact solution, let us get a solution close to it. And the subjects are changing radically. You take, for example, let me give you one or two illustrations how things are changing. Why there is so much emphasis on renewable raw material. And to what extent the most abundantly available in concentrated form renewable raw material bagasse, we have not been able to valorize to the extent it is. So chemical engineering is going to be applied. Even petrochemicals, you'll have to use Fischer drops in petrochemical mode. How syngas can be converted to olefins, syngas can be converted to higher alcohols. How to valorize every fraction in the petroleum refinery. Remember, unlike earlier days, most petroleum refineries will, within 10 years, I can tell you with some confidence, that at least many refineries will have 50% of their production going to petrochemicals. Shining example is Reliance from day one, where they had the highest percentage of the products from the refining with such high capacity of 65 million tons per annum going to petrochemical. And this whole emphasis on clean technology and safety, like in nuclear plants, is going to be the order of the day. Nobody is going to hear excuses that this happened or that happened. We have to have safety measures commensurate with what goes even in a nuclear plant, that kind of control systems. And with this solar energy available, one of the treatises I presented that how minimalization of chemical industry, we always heard earlier of maximization, going to larger capacity, single stream methanol plant, 5,000 tons per day, ammonia, 2,000 tons per day, 3,000 tons per day, sulfuric acid, 3,000 tons per day. Now we are talking, can I have small capacity distributed ammonia plant on the basis of electrolytic hydrogen, pressure swing to get nitrogen, and use this ammonia in the form of ammonium bicarbonate as a fertilizer? Because our soil conditions that do not permit direct application of ammonia. Ammonia has to be used in the form of a salt. If nothing else, carbon dioxide is always available in every location, so to say. So this is the way. Similarly, electrochemical engineering, which was a part and parcel of chemical engineering for a number of years, then somehow it went in the background. Today, it is again in limelight, like CO2, electrochemical reduction to CO. Not only CO, it can go to ethylene. And one of the most exciting things, for example, people have talked about electrolytic hydrogen. You are hearing a lot about hydrogen economy, electrolytic hydrogen, but you haven't heard how that oxygen is going to be utilized. There is a great merit in considering how that oxygen will be utilized, because in any electrolytic cell, when you get hydrogen, you also get oxygen. And that how earlier electrolyzers were only operating at close to atmospheric pressure. Today, you can get cells which operate at 20, 30 bar. So electrolytic hydrogen can support many similarly electrochemical processes, and particularly those working both at anode as well as cathode, carrying out oxidation reduction simultaneously, which is a commercial reality. It will broaden in a fairly substantial way. If you scan the recent literature, you'll find number of papers are coming on electrochemical conversions. And the green part has been integral to chemical industry right from the days of Solvay soda ash process. But there's a fancy, I'm saying principles of green chemistry, but green chemistry has been always integral part of history of chemical industry. But there is a much greater emphasis. But always beware of purchase officers in industry. They will publicly pronounce that they support green chemistry. When it comes to buying a molecule, if one fellow is following a process which is not green, but is supplying same quality material, see if it was 100 rupees a kilo from the clean technology fellow, and this fellow is able to meet all the specification, 95 rupees a kilo, they will buy from that. In public, they will say they support green. So we have to publicize this also properly without hurting any individual. That when emphasis is there for clean technology, it must be followed with it is economically attractive. So forget about similarly, the sustainability, it makes tremendous economic sense. But this very large problem of carbon dioxide coming predominantly from burning of fossil fuels, whether it is natural gas or coal, where you talk of billions and billions of tons of carbon dioxide, is a huge problem. And although many papers have come, how carbon dioxide will be used to make this chemical, they are all very small fraction of where carbon dioxide will be utilized. People have forgotten that a lot of carbon dioxide is used for secondary and tertiary recovery of oil. And there used to be on-site CO2 generation units. There was a company in US called Parian Company, which used to specialize in a skid-mounted carbon dioxide plant for secondary and tertiary recovery of oil. Petrochemicals are seeing dramatic changes. Let me give you one illustration. Cracking of ethane or naphtha. When you burn fuel in the furnace, now they are saying they want to operate it electrically with the power coming from renewable resources. It's just a very advanced stage. and how you can do methane reforming, dry reforming with carbon dioxide is at the center stage. It is at a very advanced stage, and I believe within a couple of years, it will be practiced on a fairly large scale. These are some of the attempts about carbon dioxide utilization, which will make economic sense. Fellow, the alumni of BATU, Vice Chancellor, Lieutenant Colonel Oka, others, the program organizers, I want to compliment you once again, and I wish you great success in the activities of your alumni association. Wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for your excellent advice.
By the way, but you know, in Edinburgh, Mike Davidson was a good friend of mine. I think
he's still here. He's here, retired. He has his own lab.
Mike is a very old friend of mine from my Cambridge days, and Don Glass was my contemporary.
Yes, Don Glass, he has retired recently, last year.
And then this fellow, another fellow, Pritchard, John Pritchard. I don't know where is he still around.
He's here. He's Colin Pritchard. Colin Pritchard is here.
Colin Pritchard was an undergrad in my days, you know.
Right. I'll definitely convey your regards to them. Definitely.
Please do. Pritchard did his PhD in IIT Delhi, you know. After his degree from Cambridge, and there were many people from Edinburgh I knew. I visited Edinburgh. I'd also visited Glasgow, University of Glasgow. Edinburgh was always a very interesting place, I must say, historically. But
I think you should visit again. Now that I'm here.
I'm not traveling. See, there's a lot of talk about Edinburgh Fort, and I came from Jodhpur, and I thought my fort in Jodhpur was far, far superior to Edinburgh Fort.
Scotland is a small country. It needs a small court.
And one of the earliest speakers, he said he's in Palo Alto, and my daughter lives very near. My nephew lives in Palo Alto, and my daughter lives very close to Palo Alto in Belmont. It's a small world, you know.
Yeah. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. With no further ado, I would like to invite former vice chancellors. So is Sachin, is Professor Shastri around?
I'm not able to see his name.
Yes, sir, he's there.
Sir is there.
Okay.
Yeah, so I would like to invite former chancellors, former VCs. So Professor Shastri, you've got 2 minutes to just give your thoughts.
Yeah. Hello?
Yes.
Hello? You're able to hear me?
Yes.
Yes, sir, we are able to hear you.
Okay. Chief guest of this function, evening's function, Dr. Sharma, and Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Anirudh Pandit, my colleagues, and really dear friends. When I say this, I am saying my inner layers of Mr. Avnish, Santosh, Valluri, and many others. Some of the names I am still remembering. Really, it gives great pleasure, and I am extremely happy to note that today the website is being inaugurated for the Alumni Association with lots of difficulties. We could start, and I would definitely say that I would start on January 26th, 2020. I think 2021, sorry. This is a special day, January 26th, for the entire nation. And DBATU can never forget the inaugural day of our Alumni Association, that is 26th January, 26 January. It will be there forever. So as long as India is there, as long as Bharat is there, the DBATU Alumni Association will always be remembered for its inauguration day of January 26th. Friends, it's easy to really start an association like this. My only humble request to each one of alumni and every alumnus is that now actual work starts for you all. As we all know, there is great work really needs to be done to enhance the brand value of DBATU. Point number one. There is a great need for support of the functioning of the department, various departments at DBATU. And there is great need, especially coming from help coming from guys like Professor Valluri and others, influential people at the higher echelons of the society, and then other universities, to enhance the research infrastructure of DBATU departments. These three are the major things. And fourth and most important one I see is the brand value. NIRF ranking we don't have. We don't qualify. As on today, DBATU is not getting qualified for NIRF. So there is lot needs to be done to first get the DBATU qualified. And next is get a good, respectable ranking at the national level for this technological university, that is Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar Technological University. So this will be possible, I strongly feel, only with the help of alumni. Only with the help of alumni. And I know Professor Anirudh very much. He's very dynamic person, very committed person. And then I hope DBATU will get another new Vice Chancellor who is dynamic, and maybe dynamic, highly committed each and every moment. It's not day or months wise or years wise. Every moment, the Vice Chancellor expect to have total commitment towards the university, to develop basic infrastructure, to have licensing with the industry, to have wonderful cooperation, coordination of the work with alumni. And I'm sure guys like Dr. Valluri, Mr. Santosh Ingale, and then Avinish, and so many others are there. They will be able to extend a very helping hand to all the faculty members and especially the administration to take DBATU ahead. My request would be to you all, don't have very high targets of generating corpus fund and all these things. First, my humble request to all the alumni is give a big helping hand for improving the internship of students, and then locating them for project works also for their BTech as well as PG and PhD programs. And then the core committee of alumni needs to really sit together with the Vice Chancellor, Mr. Pandit, our new man going to come maybe in a couple of months of time, and have real coordination at the departmental level. It is going to be a Herculean task, but I am very much convinced and quite satisfied to see the enthusiasm shown by some of these guys who are core committee members of our DBATU Alumni Association. And I'm a person who always believe in there's nothing which is not achievable. Only thing is we need to have a target set properly, and then keep working with the commitment to achieve the target. And you will be able to definitely, in due course of time, reach the levels where IIT Bombay or IIT BHU are some of the very good NITs. The NIT Surathkal I come from, where there is excellent coordination with the Alumni Association from the administration side. And I humbly request the Chancellor, Professor Pandit, and Alumni Association members also to have one member on the Executive Council represented by our alumni. Then real teeth for the association there. Otherwise, you'll be just advising. This needs some lobbying to be done. The government of Maharashtra, well, I'm sure the government of Maharashtra is always open for all such ideas. If necessary, they will have to modify the amendment also. Some amendment needs to be done, the act also. That will give real teeth, and excellent coordination will result. Why NIT Surathkal or IIT BHU or maybe IIT Bombay are flourishing is you have a representative from the Alumni Association. I'm sure with the great enthusiasm and dynamism of some of these guys' names, whose names I thoroughly will take our Alumni Association ahead and contribute very significantly for the growth of Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar Technological University. And I assure all my young friends, led by these 3-4 names whom I remember very much after 7 months of my departure from DBATU still, that I am available for any service related to DBATU and Alumni Association with the contacts of industry and otherwise also. I'll be able to definitely help you out and take it for granted that I am there to support, give ideas, and then do whatever is a bit required from my side. And wish Professor Anirudh Panditji and the Alumni Association all the very best in their activities. I would have liked to be there, obviously, since 6:30 p.m. in this program, but for a marriage in my own family is there, wherein I'm participating. Right now, I'm in venue, at the venue, and my family members are waiting in the hall for me. Therefore, I apologize for the delay in getting online to this meeting, and I assure all my help, and I wish all the very best in all the endeavors taken up by our Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar Technological University Alumni Association. And each one member, I profusely thank from my inner layers of the heart for remembering me and then calling me here. And it gives me tremendous pleasure, and which I forward for years together. All the very best to Avinash, Valluri, Santosh, and all others. All the very best. And pranams to Dr. Anirudh Pandit, Honorable Vice Chancellor. Namaskar. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. So next, I would like to welcome Professor Gaikar.
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Yes, yes.
I can't see you though, but
let me at the outset thank Santosh Ingole and Professor Puri, my dear friend Professor Pandit, for inviting today. I in fact ensured multiple WhatsApp messages, emails, and calls that I don't miss this event. I'm indeed happy to be part of your today's function, predecessors and successors. And of course, Professor Sharma, who has been my mentor. In fact, he was the one I went to for his blessing immediately after assuming the responsibility of being the first VC of DBATU as an affiliating technical person. And trust me, when I say really good advice from him, which helped me in those 3 years I spent there. I was at the helm of the affairs only for a brief period. But I have had earlier long association with the faculty members of chemical and the mechanical engineering departments over almost a decade, particularly when I was coordinating the networking activities of ICT with DBATU under both the phases of the technical education quality improvement program of MHRD. I'm indeed happy to see a coordinated efforts of all of you as the alumni of DBATU who have taken really keen interest to put together all the branches of DBATU together, because there were departmental level alumni get-togethers started in 2016. But I think this is the major change that you're bringing in. You're coming in as a collective efforts of all of you. And the portal that you have made is a way to go because everything is online today. And this website will bring more of you together. You know, in ICT, UDCT, ICT, whatever you call it, the alumni forms the fourth major pillar in the development of any education organization. After faculty, students, and staff. Without alumni, you will not get the growth. Reputation of any organization largely depends on the performance of the graduates in their professional life and not on their performance in your college examinations. And as Professor Sharma was mentioning, you form very long-lasting relationships, both personal and professional level, with each other during whatever, suppose you are spending 4 years of undergraduate education. Unlike people like us, we come there only for a short period of the tenure. I was there only for 3 years as a first vice chancellor. But many of us would not be spending the kind of the time that is really required for a long-term development of the institution. That is where the alumni. Many of you graduated from DBATU several years ago. I was looking at the profiles of several the alumni who were talking about their growth. You have made a name for yourself in your own chosen field. And your success reflects in the glory of the university. University has been growing slowly. There are several reasons. And the university will grow irrespective of whatever challenges are thrown at it. Because this is an institution you cannot just close down, no matter how many people will try to do that. And those challenges I don't have to spell out. Solutions will have to be found out. Last year, particularly, in the last 1.5 years, the COVID challenge in particular has affected all universities. More so DBATU because of its remote location. And the great challenge is going to come up anyway very soon in the form of NEP. I do not know how many of you have read the NEP, the National Education Policy. Because the growth of an affiliating university is going to get affected significantly. New education policy will come into the picture, and this is going to come in 5 years, 10 years, or whatever. And you really need to read in the fine print how it is going to affect university. The challenges, whether it is administration, whether it is interaction with the government, whether it's a financial space, is never an issue. But challenges are there. But I look at it challenges more as an exciting challenge. I don't want to get bogged down. I'm sure that faculty members that I have interacted during my tenure, I found many of them were very forthcoming. They want to do something, irrespective of the opposition that they face, but they really want to do something. Rather than getting bogged down, I would say, let us take these challenges, face it. See, as engineers, we are trained to find solutions. If not the best solutions, at least working optimum solutions. The university, therefore, and most importantly, I would say that university is made up of people. It is not just like inanimate buildings and the other infrastructure. It is because of the people who work there, whether it's the current students, but I would say the people who face the major brunt are the students. And whether it is a current students or even immediate graduates or postgraduates, they would need all the support that the established alumni like you, amongst you, can provide. I would suggest to take a very active participation, understand what the challenges are, what are the difficulties. And as I said, these are not necessarily at the university, we're lying somewhere else. You require an active participation, whether in the government sector, whether it's in the private sector, but take an active participation in the activities of the university. Provide whatever way, whatever support that can provide, need not be monetarily, but let it grow. Let the university grow in the same manner as any other ATUs in this. So please note that becoming an NTU as an ATU was a major change in the life of DBATU. And we have taken the challenge, we have gone through it and made it much bigger university today. So from the unitary university to an affiliating technical university was the biggest change that we had made. So having on the very first day, not a single institute wanted to join an ATU, but if I'm not wrong, at least 200 plus colleges are now affiliated to the university. I sincerely wish that the Alumni Association of DBATU a very great success in the years to come. And because with your success, the university also is good. So once again, thank you, all of you, for remembering me on this day, and all the best.
Thank you so much, Professor Gaikar. Thank you so much. Words of absolute inspiration. Thank you so much. Now I'd like to invite Professor Mankar. Professor Mankar, 2 minutes for you to talk about this.
Thank you, Prashant. Padma Vibhushan, Professor M.M. Sharma, Professor Pandit, Professor Gaikar, Professor Sastri, Professor Ghatol, all the office bearers of newly formed Alumni Association. My association with this university is since 1990. University was established in 89, and in 1990, I started visiting BATU as a visiting teacher, and I used to come down to Lonere from Pune. That time, I was faculty member in Maharashtra Institute of Technology, MIT. And our first Vice Chancellor, Professor V.R. Deshpande, joined in January 1992. And in his tenure, the first faculty recruitment took place in August. And I was lucky to have got appointment in DBATU in his tenure. In fact, I was the first faculty in chemical engineering to join under his vice chancellorship tenure. So when we talk about BATU and the progress of BATU, we must not forget the contribution, the biggest contribution by Professor V.R. Deshpande, the first vice chancellor. The students in those days must be remembering those shades, and students used to call it Khandhar. Classes kahan hai to Khandhar mein. And our Professor V.R. Deshpande stayed in shed for 7 years, almost 7 years. He was vice chancellor for 8 years, and in last year he moved in that Bangalore. 7 years he stayed in sheds and really built up university from scratch. There was nothing. And later on, Professor S.D. Avle joined, and under his tenure, of course, the new building came up. The plan was of that of Professor V.R. Deshpande, but actually the building came up in his tenure, and it was taken to its completion in Professor Ghatol's tenure. So, first of all, I would like to place on record and thank these first 3 vice chancellors. Because of them, what DBATU is, we could see. And of course, I'm happy to see some of my students are also here. Bijoy is my student, and many are participating. I taught them chemical reaction engineering, process control, transport phenomena. In 2005, I got an opportunity to join Director Lakshminarayan Institute of Technology, that position. And in 2010, I got opportunity to again go back to Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Technological University as a Vice Chancellor. I completed my 5-year term there. And just now, Professor Gaikar mentioned the DBATU was unitary university earlier, and it became affiliating university later. And this transformation from unitary university to affiliating university has not happened overnight and has not happened automatically. The government did not do it on its own. We fought, and I used to, my colleagues in the university know, for almost 3 to 4 years, continuously to get it transformed into affiliating university. And I used to say, otherwise there is no future. And in 2015 itself, 2014, the responsibility to write the new act was given to us. And that act was written, typed, and handed over to the government along with its Marathi translation from the Vice Chancellor's office of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Technological University. And before my term completed, the act was accepted and passed. And in between, there were elections and change of government. So it was enacted immediately after that. And then it became formally the affiliating university. The government was not at all in favor. And at the meeting when this decision was taken, the meeting of ministers was in Sahyadri guest house. And I was called there and I was waiting outside because we were not allowed inside the cabinet meeting. And Sri Rajesh Ji Tope, who was then education minister, he was in strong support and favor of converting this university unitary to affiliate. And in that meeting, unfortunately, one point was written because of some oppositions from somewhere, that it was not made really full-fledged affiliating university. The choice was given to the institutes. Only those institutes who wish to join have joined, and those who do not wish, they are still with their parent universities. And that happened that day. And after the meeting, when I met Honorable Rajesh Ji Tope, he told that everything is clear, but only one condition is there now, that the option is given. And because of that, you will find all the engineering colleges which would have been part of this university has not happened yet. But I am sure sooner or later it is going to happen. I remember one thing, this university was established in 1989, but Barrister Antule formed a committee, Dr. Bhausaheb Vartak committee, and it submitted its report to the government in 1981. And I have gone through that report many times. And I remember M.M. Sharma's letter, Professor M.M. Sharma's letter is in the appendix. And that letter of few pages, he described everything, how this university should be established, how it should function, which courses, which labs. And it was, if you read that 1981 Vartak Committee report, Professor M.M. Sharma's letter was really a roadmap for the establishment of this technological university. Unfortunately, because of lack of very strong support from the government, it could not take up the shape it was desired in 1981 report. Still, it is available in the university. You can read that report and see what was the dream of the people who conceived ideas in those days. It is still unfulfilled, but I'm sure it will happen one day. And in those hardships, those hard days, the students, particularly from 1989 to 89 admitted, that means 93 first batch to 98, they have really gone through hardships, worked very hard, studied hard, and then they are at the top in their respective fields. So when we shifted from shades to the Polytechnic building, it was not university building, to the Polytechnic building, and we were so happy that because we got small rooms, professors' cabins for teachers, and we were very happy, extremely happy with that. And later on, the new building which came up, many of you might be knowing, many might not be knowing, that building got Aga Khan World Architecture Award in 2010. And it's really a great place with the inspiration of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. Fort is right behind. We can see the fort from Batu, and from fort you can see the Batu in night. You can see the lights of Batu shining. And of course, the name of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar. What else you want? So I wish all the best to the present students of Batu. I'm sure that the alumni will support and help their alma mater. Alma mater is English word, which very difficult to make out a person like me, but it is called Matru Sanstha in Marathi. And when we say Matru Sanstha, then you get more attached. So it's our mother. And please keep in touch with your mother and support young students, those who are studying there. Of course, they are not facing those hardships which you have faced. Walking from Goregaon, there was no place to stay in Lonere. No buses, only 2 buses, and very difficult to find place. I saw it. I experienced it. So these students used to no proper place of stay in Goregaon. Used to walk 6 kilometers to and fro. But when we face hardships, we get much greater and better fruits by facing those hardships. And I'm sure that now Professor Anindra Pandit is in the position of Vice Chancellor. He's a great professor, great researcher, and I know him since many years. Through his work, we met personally a few times, and please help your alma mater, your Matru Sanstha. And one last thing I would like to tell, though we have been given 2 minutes, but we are professors, so it's very difficult to stop talking once we start. But before I forget, one point I would like to make. In my tenure in my last year, I could get NAC accreditation, though the grade was not very high. It was for the first time, and with lot of constraints. And that was from March 2015, February 2015 to 2020, for 5 years. It's over, and it's overdue for 2 years. From last 2 years almost, our university is not NAC accredited. So my request will be to the faculty members. They should take keen interest, and of course administration will help. It is to be done because the process is totally different now. New process, lot of hard work is there, and I request all the faculty members who were my colleagues for many years to take up the work of preparation of self-study report and get our Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar University accredited once again, and I'm sure that you will get very good grade this time. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Your words have taken me back to Lonere and the walking trips to the university and finding accommodation and all that. Everything has come to life now. So with no further ado, I would like to ask Professor Ghatol to say a few words. Professor Ghatol?
Am I audible? Am I audible now?
Yes,
very
yes.
Fine. Very good evening to all of you. And I am listening you for last 1.5 hours. Actually, I feel 5:30 I have joined, and very nice to be with you today with the alumni of the Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Technological University. I was there in the university as a vice chancellor after Dr. Avade, It was time between 2005 to 2009. Mostly 4 years I was there. I do not want to go on what were the difficulties and what we have done, all that. I just want to say two, 3 points as far as this alumni association is concerned. It is a very nice, you can say, the job that you have taken up, and you are trying to connect all the alumni together through the eLaunch website. Very nice thing. I appreciate from my heart to all of you, all my students, all my professors, the earlier vice chancellor, the present vice chancellor, Dr. Aniruddha Pandit also. Really very fine thing. Secondly, I would like to wish for the future endeavors that Alumni Association is going to take up. That is also a thing which I would like to stress here. And the third point is that the quality education is important, very important. As Professor Mankar has talked of a few things about NAC accreditation. But I feel that NBA, National Board of Accreditation, given by the All India Council of Technical Education, is really important. And you know that ICT and all other good engineering colleges are, even good engineering colleges are accredited by NBA. And perhaps it was the first time when I have tried to accredit through NBA our university. It was 2006-7, something like that. And secondly, there are, I have seen that our students are bright. Our students are really bright, and they can do miracles to the institution, to the world, to the community, to the society. They can do miracles, I know. I just give one example. Somewhere in the year 2006-7, our campus placement was done, and of the order of 265 students were placed on one day. Mostly those students were computer engineers, IT engineers, electronics engineers, mechanical engineers. And then we have tried to place chemical and petrochemical students even. I am really happy that this forum is being created, and I feel that this forum will work for a long time, and with the sense of interest of the students of the present class and the students and the professors at time. Really a fine thing to listen. I have listened the chief guest presentation also, very fine. He has covered lot many things, and he has given the direction, and I know his contribution for the establishment of the university, right from the Vartak committee and all those things we have gone through. Really, what I say that this is the time at which things are changing. The technology is changing at a very fast rate, and so we need to be apt as far as the technology is concerned. As far as this university is concerned, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Technological University, now it has got a very broad base, and like 90 or something like that of that order universities are affiliated. So we can have that broad base with us also. That broad base may lead us to another place which we perhaps have not thought of. So that is also one thing. With these few words, and congratulating the Vice Chancellor, Dr. Aniruddha Pandit and his team, and congratulating the alumni, those who have taken a step to come forward and to join and to work together. Really, I am happy. With these few words, I would like to remain. Right. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor Gatto. Thank you so much. With this, we are almost towards the end of the program. So I'd like to invite our Vice President Industry, Avnish Midha, to give a vote of thanks.
Yeah, thanks, Vallur. Vallur, should we present the deck? The vote of thanks deck. Yeah, meanwhile, I would like to say that, it's a matter of pride for us to be part of this momentous event. in the university's history, because alumni association is formed only once for any given university, right? And I'm really honored to be part of it, and also in the presence of such high dignitaries who have accomplished so much in their life, right? So to start the vote of thanks, I would like to first thank Prashant. We can go to the next slide. All our distinguished speakers, and to start with our chief guest, Professor M.M. Sharma, who actually took us through this. Not only did he share so much best practices that will be so much valuable for us to revisit and focus on, but also he took us on this journey of you can say chemical research, right? Or actually talking about solving problems using chemical engineering, right? I mean, at this stage, I was thinking that we as alumni, if we start learning now, right? If we do a degree now, we'll absorb much more than what we would have learned as a student, right? So it was really inspiring to hear that talk and to know so much about what's happening in the chemical industry and petrochemical industry from a technology perspective. And then, of course, the speeches by each of our vice chancellors have really motivated us, right? Starting with Dr. Pandit, and we talk to Dr. Pandit so very frequently, and we are so very inspired by the practicalness of his way of working and making things move forward for us, right? So we really love, and we are very thankful that I would say we are blessed to have worked with VCs like Dr. Pandit and Dr. Sastry, who have so much highly enabled us to reach where we are as of now, right? And I would truly like to thank all our VCs, Dr. Pandit, Dr. Shastri, Dr. Gaikar, Dr. Mahankar, and Dr. Ghatol, and the journey and the words that were said by each of the VCs have been so inspiring, and also took us back to our times, right? When we used to walk, from Lonere Fata to hostel, as well as to go to Goregaon. It was such a challenge, and limited resources, right? Everything was very limited. We didn't have phone or anything else, right? So no distractions, and a lot of physical activity as well as work, as well as play, right? Students were very active physically, right? Playing cricket or anything else that was going on in the campus. It was real fun. We have actually studied in the shed, right? So we really relate to those times so much, right? So really thankful to all our honorable vice chancellors of current and the former. We are really inspired to have leaders like you leading us, right, in this overall journey. And on behalf of all of us, we'll also like to thank all our esteemed alumni speakers, Nagesh and Bijoy, for sharing so much of their message for the alumni and the students, and our industry speaker, Mr. Sudhanshu Shekhar from JSW Steel, right, for sharing so much good knowledge about relating our knowledge to the industry, right. With that, let me move to the next slide, which is about our alma mater, or it's a Matra Sanstha, right, as Dr. Mankar said, and it relates so much to relates so much to the subject, right. So moving to the next slide, which is about thanking all our alumni, right, or rather all our alma mater. Sorry, honorable. First of all, I would like to thank, as I've also mentioned, I think I'd like to thank our former Vice Chancellor, Dr. V. Rama Shastri, and our current Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. Anirudh Pandit. I would say we are blessed, right? Not just lucky, but blessed to have such Vice Chancellor being the leaders of the university when we have tried to start an association, right? Because it requires a lot of tremendous support and guidance. And we have got an unwavering support from both of them so very well, right? We were so very blessed to work under such great vice chancellors who have been very clear and very straightforward, or making things happen for us and helping us and also guiding us throughout as to how to move things forward, right? So we are really thankful to them. We would like also like to thank our Dean of Academic Studies, Nalbarwa sir. We have always reached out to him for problems that are to be tackled in the university, and he has really come out with a solution very quickly, right? He's always been highly supportive. And same is the case for our registrar, Dr. B.F. Jogi. And we have never had any, whatever we sent for approval is always supported and guided by Mr. Jogi sir. And talking to him has been such a pleasure to get the right guidance to get things moving, right, in the system in which we are working, right, of the government system. and Dr. S.M. Jadhav sir, who has been always very prompt for any request that we have done, also being the professor as well as the Spock for Alumni Association. I think we interact with him on a very, very regular basis. And anytime we have asked for help, it gets done by the end of the day or by the next day, right? So that's the kind of support that Jadhav sir gives us, and the kind of guidance also as to how to approach things or how to move things or what has happened in the past. So that really helps us to move forward really well. And of course, all our heads of departments, I would say we are very, very lucky and fortunate to have heads of departments with whom we can just call up and talk anytime and get the kind of support that we look forward. Be it anything, right? We just call up and we talk to them and they'll say, okay, just send me a note and we'll work on it, right? So it has been really, really, I would say we are blessed to have such good gurus and faculties in the university who have really enabled us greatly. Without them, I don't think we would have reached where we have reached till now, right? Till the date. And to all our bright students, I would really like to highlight the fact that BATU has very, very bright students, right? It is just a matter of industry leveraging them, right? I have myself been hiring interns from BATU since last year, and I've been very, very impressed. Each one of them have been so very capable and responsible, right, to deliver whatever they take up, and with high capability, right? They like to learn, they like to self-explore, they like to do things themselves. This is a quality that I think BATU itself inculcates in students, because when the resources are less, right, or if things are limited, automatically the students or the younger generation starts to learn and take the responsibility themselves, right? That is the quality we always see in BATU students, and I would highly encourage all the alumni who are well placed in the higher ranks of the industry to please leverage our students, not only for internships, but also for jobs. They'll do great in the longer term, right? So very, very thankful to all our bright students, and also who have been part of this alumni association to help us further a lot of initiatives, right? Whether we can move to the next slide, which is, yeah, the alumni and the executive council. And next slide. Basically, a lot of the alumni, have been helping us so much from the back end, right? And I would like to really acknowledge each one of them. It would be, I'm sure I'll write probably 20 slides to cover each of their names, but they are so very, very helpful, right? I'm myself blessed to have such great alumni whom we can reach out and they can offer help in a second, right? Not only for internships and jobs, and I'm sure Santosh, our general secretary, has been in touch with so many alumni, and they have extended support so very, very with a full heart, right? I mean, they've really, really come forward and helped in a very, very good manner. You might have seen the kind of numbers we have achieved in very short time, right? Just 6 months, we have achieved nearly 187 internships received, right? This was not possible unless the alumni would have helped us, forwarded in such a great manner, right? So I would really like to thank each one of them. Also, our alumni who have helped with the MOUs with industries. We also have a cybersecurity center of excellence that was started by the IT department of the university, where a lot of our experts from the alumni side on the cybersecurity space have come forward and participated in setting up the curriculum for cybersecurity courses, not only the electives but also MTechs, which are going to get released. And also they're conducting regular cybersecurity webinars to motivate the students to take up cybersecurity as a career option, right? So really like to thank each one of those Cybersecurity Center of Excellence members, alumni members who have been constantly working in the back end to make this happen, right? Also, each and everyone who have helped the Alumni Association for registration process, even in Alibag as well as in Pune. So a lot of alumni have helped us in the back end. Also, a lot of people who have volunteered, alumni who have volunteered for various initiatives undertaken by the alumni. And there are a number of them. To be frank, I won't be able to do justice if I start writing, because I know I'll miss out a lot of them, right? So, but I can tell you there's a lot happening in the background that doesn't come forward. But each of these places, the alumni are the ones who are helping us move things forward, right? And also the alumni who have mentored and guided the alumni team in various aspects. We have been receiving a lot of good guidance in the background. Yeah, with that, let me move to the next slide, which is about the Executive Council. Prashant, yeah. So yeah, this is our executive council. And before I describe the roles, one thing I would like to highlight here is two things, right? One, we have ensured that we have participation of alumni across the year ranges since the inception, right? Since 1989 till 2021, right? We have ensured that we have representations for at least those year ranges, all of those year ranges, right? Not just limited to just maybe one batch getting together and starting an alumni association or forming a body just of that set of people, right? And that is something we intend to continue, right? To have representation across the year ranges, to have representation across the 8 streams of engineering that we have, right? Because we want all the streams to be equally represented at the top level and make the impact, right, to each and every stream. So that you'll see that we have covered all the eight streams of engineering in this executive council, right? And I'm sure more members may join in the future, and keeping the criteria intact, as well as to make sure that we do a major impact in the overall alumni body, right? And as office bearers, we are temporary bearers, I would say. We have started this, but as I said, I mean, we have so many alumni who are doing great and can take this up once we retire from this role. And we surely want to keep a definite term and retire very so that newer generations can take up, as well as across the year ranges, people can represent and do much more. But yeah, we'll surely work towards setting an example, at least from our end, whatever best we can do, right? So as we already heard, our President, Lieutenant Colonel Sachin Oka, who's leading us from the front and keeps us on track for everything and keeps us disciplined as well. Right? We have VP Academics. We heard Prashant Valluri, who really motivates and drives us to doing the right things, right? And which also each of us does that. And similarly, I'm playing the role of a VP Industry, trying to at least bridge some gap, try to figure out ways to bridge the gap between the industry and the university. And same role is being played by Professor Prashant Valluri for academics. As we have our General Secretary, Santosh Ingole. We have not heard him here, but I can tell you, I hear him like each of us probably might be hearing him like at least once in 2 days, right? And he keeps us on the toes for the work that has to happen, right? He will just give a deadline and we have to achieve it, and he'll make sure that we achieve it, and he'll keep us on toes for that. So he's surely driving a lot of things on that front. Similarly, our Joint Secretary Vikas Revankar, who's been doing great in the background, and his work will come out soon. I'm sure the lab setup work that he's also helping the university with. Our treasurer and joint treasurer, who are doing great from a finance perspective, and I'm sure they'll grow their team and make this a much stronger, finance team of the association. And our executive member Deepak Vetal, who's my batchmate and always a great person to talk as well as get things done, right? He's surely a role model for each of us. Same is the case for Mayur Desai, Nanda Chowgule. Each of them are like role models, I would say, on some or the other aspect, right? Mayur on the EXTC front, VLSI and stuff, and he's also driving some initiative with the department. Similarly, Nanda for cybersecurity front, she's leading. She's the CEO of a cybersecurity company here in Bangalore, and also part of the executive member, and also always keeps us on track when it comes to privacy, data privacy, and cybersecurity aspects of things, right? That we have to be careful about. So similarly, our executive member Baliram, who is one of the web admins as well, super admins for the website, and is great in helping us make the website come live, right? Our executive member Nitin Akhade from electrical, and most electrical people would know him because he does so much, right? So for the department in the background, you will never hear, but you'll find that the kind of work he does. Similarly, Atharva, who's doing great from a entrepreneurship perspective and also being part of the entrepreneurship cell along with Nanda to help the university on the entrepreneurship front, right? And Kiran Thomre, Professor Kiran Thomre, he's helping on a lot of initiatives, including events and webinars. Similarly, Akash Belure, in the background, he keeps helping on a lot of initiatives that we are doing in multiple initiatives in the background. Similarly, Ashutosh Sharma, he was instrumental in getting us registered, being from Alibag and getting everything done. Plus also a number of other initiatives that are going on right now on webinars and events. And Swapnil Davate, who's our youngest member from Petro 2019 batch, but is probably one of the most active, and will keep getting calls. And he's the one who organizes a lot of events and webinars till date, right? And coordinate with so many people in parallel and multitasking, right? So yeah, that's about our executive council. I'd like to thank each one of them for the kind of time they are taking out from their busy schedules and committing to the noble cause, right? Moving to the next slide. The website administration, content and finance teams. We can go to the administration. Yeah. So we have Saugata Bhattacharya, who's my batchmate, and he's the lead web admin. He's basically the super admin, you can say so, for the website. So last 6 months, right? Every day morning when I get up, I'll get a message from Saugata, what is not working right in the website, right? So that's been my schedule. We always, keep chatting and talking about what to do in what right ways. But he's being overnight. You'll find a lot of issues that he would have discovered, and we'll try to solve it one by one. Same is the case for Balram, who's helped us so much on the selection and other aspects of the website administration, and is now also our database admin in the backend to work with Huawei. And Rahul Wagh, who's like one-man army. He's an example of a person who overnight, an engineer can do anything. He's a perfect example, right? You give him any task, any big task, and overnight it will get done. You'll get a message by early morning in the night, like 2 or 3 a.m. and this work is done. So that's the kind of guy Rahul is. And you'll see that he's part of multiple teams, not just one. You can move to the next slide, which is the content team. So the content team is led by Vishal Chandan Shive, who's also working in that domain of content management. And he is ably guiding our team to, set up the campaigns, publish content parallelly in so many different social media forums, and developing sort of a lot of things, a lot of content in the background, and working with the broader team. So Swapnil, as I mentioned, is great in flyers creation, social media, and also an EC member on driving a lot of events, which is in the forthcoming slides. And Rahul, who helps on literally anything and everything that we ask him of. He never says no, and he's great from that angle. We've been fortunate to have him, and also inspired by the kind of commitment he has, right, for the work. Moving to the next slide. Yeah, the finance team, we have our treasurer, I'm sorry, this name is incorrect, Shravani Shrahapure. It's my mistake, I think, as we are creating so many slides. But Shravani Shrahapure is 1999 EXTC batch, and she is our treasurer and driving a lot of things, including the HDFC bank setup, which was a Herculean task, and a lot of things to be done. And Prashant Nair, who's keeping us, keeping us on the right path when it comes to finance aspects, right, and taking the right decisions, or passing the right resolutions for the right things, right. So he's really due diligent in pointing out what is not right, which is something that we strongly need, right. And we are fortunate to have Prashant as part of our team from that angle. And Santosh Ingalu has always been a mentor for the finance team and helping with the guiding and helping the team as well. As we know, he's literally guiding each and every team, but he's surely on finance, he has surely done a lot of work along with the treasurer and joint treasurer to make things happen. Also with the vendors, right? Moving to the next slide. Yeah, we just, so these are the mentors for the website overall perspective. So Lieutenant Colonel Sachin Oka, who's always been an overall mentor for us and telling us what is the right thing to do, and also in a disciplined manner. So we move forward. I've been trying to, at least for the initial setup and launch, I've been trying to lead the website initiative and trying to make sure that things move forward. And also selection of that, logically comparing multiple vendors and number of other things that went into getting it set up. So working with the overall team. So the team is doing a lot of work, and I would say I'm just trying to help put a structure to it and help in whatever way we can as mentors, right? Santosh from vendors management, because we had, to be frank, to deal with Huawei and HDFC, there was a lot of relationship building that was needed, which I think Santosh has done greatly. And that's the reason we have been able to get the kind of deals with them and the kind of work we have in progress quite fast, right? And we already heard Prashant Valuri. He's doing so much work as of now for the portal launch, I can tell you. He's working like a one-man army for that. so many videos have been released before the launch, and everything has been edited, and the content, not only that, but even the content that we are releasing, most of thing is being reviewed by Prashant, right? So a lot of work that goes into that, and a lot of time also, right? We can only thank him enough, but there's a lot of time that goes into this, and he's spending so much time on that. And same is the case for Mayur Desai. He's helping us with the content review, and Vikas Revankar, who's helped us and will be helping us in the content review moving forward. And Prashant Nair, as I said, he's also doing the alumni branding for us. The logo that we see, it's actually created by Prashant Nair, and also the taglines, and he's been instrumental in doing that as well, right? All the branding material. So he does it in the right way and releases, and people can use it in various forms and places, right? As well as the finance, as we already discussed. Moving to the next slide quickly. I might be exceeding my time, but yeah, the webinars and events team, everybody would have heard from them. Everybody would have attended a webinar, but just see the team behind it, right? We have, so let me tell, till date, I think.
Avnish, we are exceeding the time by miles.
Sure.
We need to rush.
Sure. I got an assert. So yeah, so basically this is the webinars and events team. And till date, I think Professor Kiran Thomre and Swapnil have been driving it. And now we have Karthik, who's our super senior, who's joined us and helping us drive the initiative. And I'll just go through the names quickly. And we have already, we can see their profiles on the website because it's all updated. So in the interest of time, I'll just move forward, but I can tell you each one of them is contributing a lot, right? Let's move to the next slide. And this is our extended overall webinars team. Next slide, please. Yeah, these are the mentors for the webinars and events team. Overall, it was being mentored by Santosh Ingole, our general secretary, and also majorly contributed by Swapnil and Prashant. I've helped only on certain technical aspects, and that's we can move to the next slide quickly. Lastly, but not lastly, I would say, but we would like to thank our vendor Huawei, who has been so very understanding and supportive, right, of our Alumni Association website, the platform that we have hired from Huawei, and they have been very, very considerate to help us launch, and not only in terms of pricing, but also in terms of the kind of support they have given throughout. And it's been a long journey, like nearly 1 year we have worked with them, but they've always stood behind us and made things happen, right? I'd like to thank each one of them. Yasasvi, Vamsi, Srinivas, Vikas, Jaypal, and Paresh, who's the CEO. So all of them, right? Excellent support by you guys. So it wouldn't have been possible without you guys. Moving to the next slide, please. We would like to thank our HDFC Bank and Payment Gateway team. Basically, Uday Rokde sir, Ankit Boyer, who's helping us a lot on Payment Gateway. Uday Rokde from a HDFC Bank setup, and Mohit also from a gateway perspective, right? To move things forwards and get things done and verified quickly. So thanks very much. Moving to the next slide, please. The launch event team, lastly but not least, I think the launch event team, and a lot of you already know all the faces, but they have done an excellent job in the last, say, 2 weeks or 3 weeks, right? The kind of efforts that have gone in is tremendous, and I'm really surprised how they could do so much in so less time, right? So great work, each one of you. The next slide, please. We are, I think, on the call for participation. So next slide, I think. So basically, it's a call for participation on 2 aspects, if I would say so. And it's a call for participation for alumni, students, faculties, and former faculty members on 2 aspects, right? One, if you can engage with the students and the faculty, right, to help in whatever ways possible. And second, to engage with the alumni and the ex-faculty as well, right? We have to network and help each other as well, right? That is really, really needed. Well, we have a lot of initiatives that we're running, and each of one you can be part of it, or even lead whatever you want to define as a good enough big goal that we can achieve for the university or for the alumni, right? Each of you are free to lead and drive stuff, and we'll be most supportive if you're willing to take the lead, right? We'll be more than happy to have more leaders in the group, broader alumni group, and driving stuff, right? But these 2 aspects, but both these areas, I think whatever ways you can think of that we can enable, please come forward and take the initiative forward, right? We are always there to support. And as we say, right, together we excel. That's our logo also. So let's all come together to excel, right? So thanks. With that, I would say thanks so much to each one of you. And if we move to the next slide, that's what we are saying. Thanks to one and all. And thank you so much for the excellent event. And thanks to each one of you for the kind of generous support that each one of you have given to make us reach here. And the way forward is long. And I'm sure each one of you would play your part to make this a great success, right? So thanks so much. Thanks so much, everyone. With that, I would like to probably hand over to Prashant.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Shobhita, do you want to say the final words and then you can close? Can you hear us?
Yes. Can you see me?
Yes, I can see you. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. So actually, this has been wonderful, and I don't think it could have got any better. But John F. Kennedy once just said that the success of any school can be measured by the contribution the alumni make to help in return to the society. And today that's what our alumni is doing, and they're clear and sincere and intense conviction to help our juniors. And I just want to say thank you to one and all, and everyone who managed to be here, attended the session, and despite their busy schedule, and made this a great event. So thank you.
Thank you, Sharma sir. Thank you.
I can leave now.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time and patience, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thanks,
Thank you, Pandit sir.
Bye.
Thanks,
Thank you,
everyone.
Thank you, and